Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Ready Kid Foods, a channel of easy recipes, delicacies, and African traditional recipes. If at all you've never subscribed to this channel, please consider subscribing, view my videos, like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, guys, today I'm back with this video, and I'm doing this video for the third time now about Uji Power. This is due to public demand. So the first video I did on this, I did about how to prepare Uji Power. The second video I did it how to start a Uji Power business, which has raised so many questions, and people have asked me several questions concerning this for business. So this video, I'm just doing it specifically to answer the questions that people have been asking on business issues. That is quite a number of questions that concerning how to start this business. So please keep tuned and let's move. Now, quite a number of questions have been asked about this, how to start. I did how to start this business of Uji Power. So most of the questions are as follows. So the first question they asked me was all about the blender. Which blender do we use for this Uji Power? So as I told you, most of the questions that people who have been DMing, I've told you that this Uji Power needs a very heavy blender, a commercial blender. So here I am. So guys, this is the commercial blender that I've been talking about. For those who are telling me that they don't really know how it looks like, they've never seen it. So they have different brands, but so far I'm using Signature, but they have different brands. No, it doesn't mean that you have just to use the Signature brand, but so long as it is it is a commercial blender. So this is it. So the questions that I've been receiving about it, first of all, how does that blender looks like? So guys, this is how it looks like. The Power commercial blender. So if you can look at its features, this is the place for the power. So you can either switch it on. You switch it on when you want to blend, and then you switch it off. So these are the units. Now you can adjust it for the speed that you want, and then this is when you want to pause, and then this is slow down. This is when you want to slow it down, the speed, to slow down the speed. So for those who've been asking for the blender, it is this one. Another thing they've been asking concerning blender is that where do we get this blender? So I hope if you are, depending on where you are coming from, I bought mine from Nairobi, Kamkunji, but I'm very sure where you can get them from any store where they sell kitchen utensils. But if you want to get it at a better and a good price, if you are within Nairobi, go to Kamkunji and you will get it. They have different types of brands. Another question concerning this blender, they asked me how many liters. So guys, this one has a maximum here, and it can hold up to 4,000 liters. It can hold up to 4,000 liters. So they're asking me about, so I hope that is well answered, 4,000 liters. And they're asking me about the watts. So about the watts, I'm not so very sure about it. I'm yet to find out. And then the last question they're asking about it, not last so far, about the price. How much does it cost? So that will depend on where you're buying it from. If you're buying from retail shops, you'll get it at 13,000 Kenyan money. And if you're buying from a wholesale, that is where I'm directing you to, you'll get it at 10,000. So for me, I bargained and got it for 9,000 Kenya shillings. And the last question that they ask, the number of calabash or cups that we can obtain from here. So that one will come to when we get to the calabash. So I hope those who are asking me questions concerning the blender for Uji Power, your questions are answered. Of different colors. My advice is that if you are doing it for business, you should have several colors, attractive colors. They have very bright colors. They have orange, yellow, brown, all sorts of colors. So the question they normally ask about this: first, where do you get this calabash? So the same place where I got this thing, this is Kamkunji, but you can also get it from other retail shop. How much does it go? So the price will depend on the number of pieces you are buying. If you are buying few pieces, less, if you are buying in wholesale like 6 pieces and above, you will get it at 400 shillings each. And if you are buying less than 6 pieces, you will get it at 450. And if you're buying one or two, you can get it at 500, depending on where you're buying it from. So go to wholesale. If you want to get them the best one, go to the wholesale shops at Kamkunji, and you will get them. Then they ask another question: these calabashes, are they of different sizes? No, they are just of the same sizes. All of them are of these same sizes, but with different colors. Another question that they ask about this calabash: how much do you sell it? For business, a calabash goes for 50 and money. And how many pieces can we get from one blender? So for me, I can get, it's between 8 and 10 pieces of this calabash of Uji, depending on how you fill your calabash. Because some people makes it to this point, some people makes it full. So depending on how you measure, so but approximately 10 pieces from this. So if you're in business, it means that a whole blender, if you sell them for 50 shillings, you'll get something like 500 Kenyan money. So another question they ask about the ingredients. Question they ask about this Uji Power is about the ingredients. I have my arrowroots, I have my sweet potatoes, and I have my cassavas. So these are the main issue here, and they are very healthy indeed. Apart from that, we have the pumpkin seeds here that we use for Uji Power. Apart from pumpkin seeds, we have groundnuts here, and then we have sugar to taste, or if you don't want to use sugar, you can as well also use honey, and then we also have milk. So keep tuned. So we are still on ingredients. There are things here which are optional here. One of them is these sweet potatoes. It's not a must to use sweet potatoes because most people complain that sweet potatoes give them heartburn. So it's optional. So you can either use this or not. Another thing which is optional is honey and sugar. First of all, there are people who are diabetic and they don't really need sugar in their recipes. So after all, you can either use sugar or you can use honey. But if you are doing it commercially, especially for business, you are not supposed to put sugar at all. That's why when they are serving you, they will ask, what do we need? Do you need sugar or do you need honey? So if you are starting this for business, make sure you don't use sugar when you're making it initially. And then milk. We also use milk. So you find that most people who are doing this business, they don't use milk because of its expenses. So instead they use water. So guys, if you want your business to do well, if you want to succeed, and if you want to make a quality Uji Power, please use milk. Milk will make your Uji Power has that weight, tasty, and healthy as well. And apart from that, we also use hot water. There's another ingredient which is not here, is water. So we use hot water, not cold water, but hot water. I'll give you a reason why we use hot water while we will be doing the operation. And still on ingredients, guys, when you're using ground nuts, make sure you have this type of groundnut which is red and this small size. Don't use groundnuts which are whitish or which are those big ones. Reason is that this is the best quality. And another thing still on groundnut, when you're using this groundnut, you'll have to, first of all, you have to fry it fry the groundnuts. And we are frying it, make sure you use a low medium heat. Don't let them burn. If your groundnuts gets burnt like they are dark or they are black, your Uji Power will have black particles, and people will might not like it. It will not give you the best quality. So make sure you use low to high low heat. Someone asked me about these pumpkin seeds. That is it? Can we make Uji Power without the pumpkin seeds? Which my answer is no. The reason why, do you know why we call this porridge Uji Power? It has the power to your health. And this pumpkin seed, as you look at the benefits of all these ingredients, pumpkin seeds plays a very, very important role in this porridge. First of all, immunity. It strengthens immunity system. So once you know how when your immunity system is strong, you are free from disease attacks. Another thing why especially even men love this Uji Power, if you walk to these places where they make Uji Power, you'll see the gender who are there. Mostly are men. They know this Uji Power plays a very important role in their family. And we have other benefits. If you check on the other videos that I did, I have given all the benefits of all these ingredients. So I hope my questions are answered, but still I'm going to do it practically so that you can see. Now, the last question that several of people have asked, by watching the videos, they've tried it out, but somehow it has not come out the way they expected because of the measurements. So that's why from the beginning I showed you that I've used here 3 arrowroots here. I've used 3 medium-sized sweet potatoes, and I have 4 cassava. So the reason why I have done this is just to show you. From here you'll now able to know, because I don't know where you are doing your business. I don't know the number of customers or clients you have, and this thing you have to keep doing it. When you're doing it commercially, it's something that you have to do it over and over again, you repeatedly. So when you want to start this business, before, if you are starting, please try out this first. Use these measurements first, and then from there you will be able to see how many cups you can obtain from these measurements. And then from there now you will be able to know the number of jugs you are supposed to make in a day, depending on the customers you have. So another question they ask about the ingredients. The ingredients had so many questions. Where do we get this kind of ingredients? Now this one also depends on where you are. I don't know where you are watching from, but if you are within Nairobi, we have a big market called Marikiti or Mudhurwa. So you can go there, but mostly people who have already had many clients, they have their suppliers who supplies them with this kind of ingredient. But if you are starting, please go very early in the morning when wholesalers are there. You will be sold to at a wholesale price. Go there and you'll get this. And when you are buying, especially the cassava, be very careful, because cassavas, once they stay for some time, you'll find inside part of it, inside you'll find that it's somehow rotten. So be careful when you are purchasing. Like for example, I have one here. If you can see, it has some marks here. So make sure you try it out, but it's okay from inside. Make sure when you're buying cassava, before you place an order, try it out and see if it is right inside. Otherwise, you might buy cassavas, then you find it is spongy inside, which means it's rotten. And if you use such cassava for this Uji Power, that you will fail. So this is one of the reasons why some of you are saying they've been trying and they don't come out well. So check on your ingredients well. Make sure you buy fresh ones like this one, and then buy and in fact don't have so much that will enable you to keep. No, just buy fresh ones daily so that your Uji Power can also be fresh and tasty. Another problem that also you people do, especially with the groundnut, when you're frying this groundnut, don't use salt, don't use salt at all, because when you use salt when frying, your Uji Power will be salty, and in such salty Uji Power will make people have their stomach ache. You hear people saying, I took Uji Power from one person and I diarrheaed. You find even 2 or 5 clients complaining of stomach ache or diarrhea. This is because the groundnut they use, they had added some salt to it. And some people also, they get lazy. Instead of buying groundnuts and frying for themselves, they buy the wine hawkers are working with the already fried ones. And remember, those ones have salt. So please avoid using such. So I hope all the questions on ingredients are found. And for those who are asking where to get purchases, I've done this. And for groundnut, if you want to buy them, you go to, if you're in Nairobi, you go to cereals wholesale where at Nyamakima. You'll buy them at a very, very cheaper price and very, very good quality. And for the pumpkin seed, somebody told me that she was forced to buy the live pumpkin and to dry up the pumpkin seed. If you're doing it commercially, it will not be possible. If you go to the market, you'll find them already sold at this. They sell them in kilos. So please just buy there. These ones you can store them even for a week. Just go and buy there from there and have them. And now I'm talking about the measurement. That is all. Now I've talked about the measurements of the cassava, of this starch. Yeah? So for the groundnut, I've used 1/4 kg of groundnut just to get along with this, what I have here. And these ones I've also used, not really, but something like 1/4 as well. And then for sugar, I'm going to use 1 cup of sugar, but this is because I'm doing it home use now. That's why I'm going to use sugar or honey. But if at all it's commercial, avoid sugar for the first time. So keep tuned. I will now start by cutting. And remember, guys, you have to remove this. And removing them when they are... Look at how my cassava is very, very fresh. Very fresh. So make sure you remove this, because if you leave them, it will interfere with your customers. So make sure you do that. You can also as well remove them. It's easy to remove them when they are cooked, but you are likely to forget. So to save time, especially when customers are waiting, now you can see what I was telling you. Some of these cassavas, they are not really good. Still, if you see something like this, you have to be very, very careful. So when you're purchasing cassava, so such kind of things it may change the taste of your Uji Power. So I'll continue cutting them. Keep tuned. So guys, I've done my cassavas. I'm still further going to cut them in smaller pieces, but after they have been cooked. So next, my sweet potatoes. As you can see how my potatoes are very fresh. That is done. And next, my arrowroots. Please watch this video until the end, because we want to confirm how many cups we are going to obtain from this. So from here, you know where you are doing your business, you know the number of clients that you have. You will be able to tell the quantity from here. So guys, this is done. Now another question that they normally ask, should we boil them together? Which I explained in the other video. Should we boil them together or should we boil them separately? Now depending on what you like, but just to save the heat and save you time, you should boil them together. And now when you're boiling them together, make sure you put the cassavas down, because cassavas take longer time to cook than the others. So here is the pan where I'm going to use them to boil them. So make sure you put the cassavas down first. So let the cassavas be down. Then next followed by this, the arrowroots, and then lastly the sweet potatoes. So keep tuned. So this is the level of water when you are boiling it. So we are going to boil it until it gets soft. And guys, remember, it's best to be blended when they are hot. So keep tuned. So guys, my starch are boiling. So I'm going to start by frying this. So make sure you fry this at a low to medium heat. Don't let the heat be too much because they're not supposed to burn so. But if you are doing it for business, you should do this in advance so that you can always have them ready because of time. And again, also, if you're doing it for business because of time, you can even put them together with the groundnuts. Then you select. But I find that to be so much hectic because taking this out, guys, you can see it has already started changing colors. And guys, the reason why you fry this so that it can give the porridge another aroma, a nice aroma, and it has various benefits. So they should not also get burnt. So this is just done. If you see them now jumping where they are doing, it means that they are done. So don't let them to be so dark. So this is just enough. So the attention you should be having, or what you should have in mind when trying this groundnut, that you should have to keep on turning them so that every piece gets fried. Because if you use raw groundnut, so guys, my groundnut is done. Remember, I told you that you don't have to let them get burnt and leave that because they are ready. So you can see it's now started separating itself from the cover. It is done. And so we'll keep it aside as we wait for our starch to boil. So keep tuned. Guys, after frying my groundnut, now I have to warm the milk. Boil the milk. Not really warming, but boiling them. So guys, for those who are doing Uji Power, don't use raw milk. Make sure you warm your milk. You boil your milk. Everything in Uji Power has to be cooked first before it's blended. That's when it will be healthy on everyone and will not have any side effect. So how to warm milk. Keep tuned. So guys, you can see they are boiling, and they are almost. So we just have to add them about 10 more minutes and then they'll be done. Guys, I guess my meal are ready. I can see they are ready. So I will start just by removing the potatoes. These are the ones which cook very fast. My potatoes are ready. So what I'm going to do is just to cut them into small pieces. Yes, I'll change them into this plate. So guys, these are the 3 potatoes that I had just done. For those who are talking about measurements, be very keen on this. So we are done with sweet potatoes. So we are going to take out the arrow. So this is all. So guys, you can see the cassava, the quantity of cassavas and sweet potatoes. So you can see this kind of business is 100% its profit. It has a profit of almost 100%. Right? Because I'll just before the end of this, I'll show you the amount of money I used in buying these ingredients and what you are going to, so you can do your calculations. So for the cassavas are here now, we also have to cut them into small pieces. So this is the time now you can remove such that were left. So keep tuned. Everything is here ready. I have to dice everything after cooking them, after boiling them softly. These are the cassavas, these are arrowroots. Sweet bananas, I have the seeds are fried, the groundnuts are fried, and I've boiled my milk and I've boiled my hot water as well. So we are now going to make the Uji Power, so keep tuned. And there's a warning, guys, you have to be careful. Once you put this, once it starts boiling, the ingredients will jump over. So you have to be careful. So I will start with this, the cassavas. And you put them in bits, eh? Just put half of this first. Half of the cassavas. That is half, eh? Then these are the arrowroots now. Half of this. Then half of this. Half of groundnut. Of it, we'll be adding them simultaneously as we move. And milk. The rest will be adding simultaneously as we move. Then we are going to close this. Then now we are going to switch it off. Now there's a time that we will be forced to remove the lid because now it will be boiling up. Remember, now we are preparing. This is the final stage now. So look at everything the way I've assembled them, and make sure you don't put it that close it very tightly because it will reach a time that we'll have to pull it out. So make sure you switch on. Then here we come to the power. So I'm switching it on. So guys, it's blending as it also mixes everything. Just keep tuned and see. If you look at if you see it's the consistent, it's a bit heavy. That's when you add water simultaneously, or you add milk. But I think I have enough milk. I can see it from outside. So what I have to do is just to add now some water. You stir for everything to be blended. When you add water simultaneously, when you saw me starting, I started on a low motion because I was trying my blender. At times they have problems. So, and if you're not careful, if you start with the full force, everything will pour out. So first you do your setting. We have here 1, 2 numbers here. So we have for the juice, we have for ice, we have for nuts and etc. So I've placed mine here at 3. That is for nuts because I have nuts here. And then we also have this button for slowing down and speeding up. So you can see if you look at this point here. So I started at low pace. Then as now we move, because it's grinding, you make it a bit higher. So let's continue. So you can see it's rising up. It's rising up. Remove this and see the consistency. You can see guys how heavy it is. It is very heavy, so it needs, and it has enough milk because you can see it's white. So what we do is just to add water. So this time now I'm not going to cover it because I'll be adding water simultaneously, and it has to be hot water, guys. As you stir, you look at the consistency. If it needs some water or some milk, and you can see we had enough milk. So what we have to add here is water, but you still have to let it bubble because it's cooking while we are blending. So you have to let it bubble until you see some foam forming up here. So we are still going to let it bubble a bit. Then we add sugar as we start. Okay. My porridge is ready. I want to confirm how many calabash it will produce to this point. So it can produce so much. So I'm going to count and tell you exactly how many cups. So as you can see, this is round 2 now. The first jug has given me 10 calabash, full calabash, plus an extra which could not fill in the calabash. So which means 500 already is there in there. So we are on the same ingredients that I use on the second round. So let's continue. after everything has done, this jug has produced for me 24 cups, 24 cups of this of the calabash, with the same ingredient that I had. Remember the ingredients that I had, and apart from that, I'm still left with some here. I'm still left with this. So you can imagine how beautiful this business is. It's 100% profit making, because if I can produce 24, meaning if I was to continue with this, I would have made about it can produce even up to 30 whatever, 30 calabash. And now the cost of these things, all these ones costed me about 500 shillings. I mean 300 for this one, a bit expensive at the moment. They are 300, and these other ones were 150, 150. That is 600 shillings. And these ones I bought at 80 shillings, and 85 shillings for the groundnuts. So it's with at the cost of 80, I mean less than 1,000. It's something to do with 800 shillings. I'm able to obtain about 30, between 25 to 30 bags. So calculate 50 shillings by 30 or by 25, and and just do the calculation and see how much you can make for this business. So for those who do not have job, who would wish to start this business, this is the best business. That's why it's booming. It's all over in town, and there are areas also where, especially in the counties where this kind of porridge is not there. Please, please, please try this out, and you'll thank me later. Thank you so much, and always get tuned to my Judica Mouse based video. Thank you so much for viewing my video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please share this video as much as possible. Let's meet on another video. Bye bye. Welcome.